Imagine a sunny Saturday morning in a small town where a bustling farmers market takes center stage. Each vendor is setting up their stall, displaying fresh produce, handmade goods, and baked delights. Among them is Carlos, a farmer known for his sweet, juicy strawberries. On most weekends, he sells out by noon, but today, word spreads quickly. Strawberries are in high demand, and Carlos's prices have doubled. The scene is set to explore a key economic concept: elasticity of supply. Let's step into Carlos's shoes. When prices rise, it's natural for producers to want to sell more of their product to maximize profits. But how quickly and easily they can respond depends on the elasticity of their supply, the measure of how sensitive the quantity supplied is to changes in price. For Carlos, the strawberries in his stall represent the harvest from weeks of planting, watering, and careful tending. No matter how high the price goes today, he can't magically grow more strawberries overnight. His supply is relatively inelastic in the short term because production is constrained by time and natural processes. Now imagine another vendor, Maria, who sells handcrafted candles. If demand surges, Maria can quickly make more candles by working late into the night or hiring an assistant. Her supply is much more elastic because she has the flexibility to increase production in response to higher prices. Elasticity of supply isn't just about individual producers like Carlos and Maria, it's influenced by a range of factors, including the nature of the product, the time frame, and the availability of resources. Let's unpack these with a few stories. Consider Alex, a baker whose croissants are beloved by the market's visitors. If butter prices soar due to a global shortage, Alex faces a dilemma. Can he bake more croissants to meet the rising demand without breaking his budget? His ability to adjust depends on how easily he can substitute ingredients or find alternative suppliers. Products that rely on scarce resources often have more inelastic supply because they can't be quickly or cheaply replaced. Now, let's think about time. In the short term, Carlos can't grow more strawberries, but in the long term, he can plant more fields, invest in better irrigation, and even hire more workers to scale up production. Over time, supply often becomes more elastic as producers adapt and find ways to meet demand. Supply elasticity also varies across industries. Take housing, for example. In a booming city where demand for homes skyrockets, construction companies can't simply build new neighborhoods overnight. Permits, labor, and materials take time to organize, making the supply of housing relatively inelastic. On the other hand, consider an online retailer selling digital products like ebooks or music. If demand surges, the retailer can instantly increase supply without worrying about physical limitations, making their supply highly elastic. But why does elasticity of supply matter? For one, it affects how prices move in response to changes in demand. Let's return to Carlos. If a sudden frost destroys half the strawberry crops in the region, the remaining strawberries become a scarce and expensive commodity. If Carlos's supply were more elastic, say he could quickly switch to growing strawberries in greenhouses, the price spike would likely be smaller. Elasticity acts as a stabilizer, smoothing out extreme price fluctuations in markets. Elasticity also shapes policy decisions. Governments consider supply elasticity when designing taxes or subsidies. For instance, if policymakers want to encourage renewable energy, they might subsidize solar panels. But if the supply of solar panels is inelastic due to limited raw materials. The subsidy may lead to higher prices rather than significantly more panels in the market. As the market day winds down, Carlos reflects on his experience. While he couldn't meet the surge in demand today, he's already thinking ahead. Maybe he'll expand his fields or experiment with techniques to grow strawberries year round. His story highlights the essence of elasticity of supply. It's not just about responding to prices, but understanding the constraints and opportunities that shape production. So, the next time you see a price change in the market or hear about supply chain challenges, think of Carlos and Maria. Elasticity of supply is the unseen hand guiding how producers react to the ebb and flow of demand. It's a balancing act, one that connects the choices of individual suppliers to the broader rhythms of the economy. Elasticity of supply is more than a theoretical concept. It's a reflection of the challenges and ingenuity of producers everywhere. It shows how adaptable we are, even in the face of scarcity, and how markets respond to the ever changing needs of the world, ever changing needs of